Barry!
What is it?
Look out! It's a monster!
Let me take care of it!
Hi, this is Ed Smaron, the voiceover actor of Barry Burton in Resident Evil Remake, and you are visiting the Resident Evil Database fan site. I guess I got the chance to work on the Resident Evil Remake very soon after I moved to Los Angeles. I had got an agent in late December, right around Christmas time, and January or February, I believe they contacted me with this audition. They were looking for someone to do a voice match or a replacement, I guess it was, for this character named Barry Burton in the Resident Evil series. And it seemed like a really interesting gig. I had not done a whole lot of that kind of work before, and I had one audition, and then I got a call back, and it started to look kind of promising. And I remember my agent telling me, I really want you to get this. I think it was the first thing I'd end up booking with him. Like I said, I had not been in Los Angeles that long. And so it was pretty simple. Capcom never really got in touch with me at all. It was all through my agent and the people who were casting. And it was basically your standard old audition get hired process. No big stories behind it. That's just pretty much the way it happened. Prior to getting hired to be the voice of Barry Burton, I got to say that I was not really much of a veteran in the video game era. I had probably done a couple of smaller things that I don't even remember the projects they were. They were not very big at all. I had done mostly a lot of theater acting in Chicago, and some voiceover work for commercials and promos and things like that, and a lot of improv and a few TV type bits, but nothing really in the way of video games. This is my first major foray into anything similar to this at all, and actually turned out to be a pretty good gig, so I'm happy I ended up getting it. As far as being aware of the fan base and popularity of Resident Evil, I got to admit that when I first got the job, I had not been exposed to all that much in the area of video games or any of that sort of thing. My original thought was that I'm in Hollywood and hasn't been that long, and boy, I've already got some work. And every kind of work is good work, especially when you haven't had an agent very long. It's nice to start booking right away. And it was only really after we had finished the recording session that I heard more about the size of the fan base and the popularity of the project and the series, and that they were really looking for some people to come in and maybe put a different take on what had already been done for whatever reason. And so at that point, I was really hoping that, first of all, I was really glad that they chose me to go in and do it, and was really hoping that we had fulfilled their needs and finished the project in a way that they had wanted us to do it. And evidently now, judging, but boy, so many years later with the remake and everything, and that the popularity and the fan base seems to be still so strong, it looks like that a lot of people are really happy with the work that all of us have done. And well, I'm really grateful to have that as part of my life to look back on and maybe even look ahead for in the future. Ah, yes, Barry Burton's voice, and I guess more specifically, Barry Burton's funny sentences, his funny lines, which are legend to everybody, with the Jill sandwich and all of that stuff. How I prepared to do this? Well, most voiceover jobs, they give you specs as to what they're looking for, at least in the audition. If you can match what they're looking for, and they continue to want to do it in that style, if you match that, then that's going to be a long way towards getting you the job. In this case, of course, we had a precedent that was set, and because a previous actor had already done the job, and what they were telling me is they wanted someone to recreate the voice, to do a voice match, as they call it. So I guess what they requested in particular for me was to try to approximate this voice as best I could. So originally, that's what I tried to do. Do I have to match him? Well, I think I did as close as I could. Sometimes they give you freedom to freelance a little bit, but I think I did a pretty decent job of matching what they looked for, and I don't think there was any real need for doing any kind of improv or any kind of changing or adding my own take to it. I like to think that the work that I did in matching the voice was sufficient, and so that's what I carried on to it. The lines, those were the things. There was a lot of interplay between Carol, who was sort of our casting director and producer of this, and the folks from Capcom, who are all in the studio together. And there was a lot of interplay about how would we say this line? Should we change it this way? Does this make sense? And through some conversation, we sort of made some changes and things. I wish it was closer to the actual session that we had, and I'd probably be able to tell you something more specific. But as far as that goes, it was almost a team effort that we sat in there and figured out which of these lines we were going to keep and which of these we were going to change and how we were going to do them. And like I've said in some of the other questions, it seems like the way we decided on it seemed to work pretty well. And I think we did the voice match and we got the lines the way we wanted them. And with the popularity and the fan base of everybody who appears to really like what we've done, I think it turned out okay. I think the first thing I'm going to say about Barry Burton, the character, is that back when I did it, he was quite similar to the type of role that I would be asked to audition for if it were on camera. That wouldn't happen today because I'm 15 years older, but it seems like the character as you see him in the game and we're sort of the same similar types. Of course, I don't have the military background or the weapons training. He's much more of a person who's involved in that than I ever was or ever will be. But as an actor, really kind of strikes a chord. So I guess what you could say is the voice and the physical type and what they're looking for matched up pretty well. Barry's a strong-willed character. He's a caretaker. I think he has a lot of integrity, and I see a lot of that in my life, in my own personal life as well. And so it's a good character to play. Sometimes when you're an actor, you really want a chance to stretch and go way outside of your comfort zone, and this probably wasn't one of those times. He was pretty close to the vest and pretty close to me, like I said, except for the weapons and military stuff. But I liked him as a character, and I liked doing him, and I'm glad I got to be the person who they felt was right for the role. Once the game came out, I tried to keep up with this as much as I could, as I knew there was eventually be movies and hopefully other games and things like that going out. But things did not really click for me as far as more roles created to this series. I kept myself updated on what was going on, and obviously there was always news in the pipeline that this is coming out, a new version is coming out, and a live action movie is coming out. But that's as far as it got, as far as hearing about it and talking about it and learning more about it, but didn't really translate into any more work. As far as the video games in general, I'm gonna be real honest with you. It's not a huge part of my life, so I'm going to say that I have never played any games of the series, and it just happens to, not be my thing, at least right now. I got lots of other stuff going on, and so I'm going to leave that for the people who are fans of this kind of stuff and fans of the game, and I'm glad those people are out there to enjoy it. Yes, how I learned about the Revelations 2 and the release of it was maybe 6 months to a year before this all happened when I was contacted by the people from the Crimson Head Elder website, which is another Resident Evil site. And they actually got in touch with my agent, my current agent, now in Chicago. Uh, they hunted me down and they looked me up and they sort of spread the news and they said they wanted to do an interview with me and I of course consented to that and that's how I found about the new release and that Barry Burton would be one of the main characters. But no, Capcom did not try to reach me to repeat the role. So obviously they got in touch with other people and had them do it. I have had the chance to hear the new character. Actually, I think it's really good. He's doing good work. Um, so they've moved on, and I'm happy to be associated with this at the level that I was. And it seems like a lot of people are still interested, and I'm participating in all these podcasts and web interviews now with people who are fans of the show from. Fans of the game from so many years ago that it's still interesting to me, and we're progressing and we're moving on, and maybe down the line there'll be a different version of Barry or a different type of Barry or maybe even an older Barry, and I can be a part of that too, and I would love to be. I actually have seen some of the live action movies starring Mia Jovovich. Very interesting to watch, especially having been a part of this now. Actually, the one that came out right after the job that I did on the video game, I really wanted to see that because, of course, these were characters I was very, very close to at the time, so I wanted to see what was going on. I think it's good stuff, and I'm glad they were able to have a great run at it. As far as Barry being featured in the latest movie, I got to tell you that I have not seen that one. So I don't have any input on the actor who played that role. I hope it was great. I hope we had a good time and I hope that everybody enjoyed it. But as far as me, I have not seen it. So unfortunately, I can't weigh in on that one. But I hope the series continues for a long time. It appears to be really, really popular. I know the fans that I've met are incredibly passionate about it. And I hope it continues a long, happy life. As far as actors I would like to see play Barry Burton in the big screen, I'm the guy who always comes to mind when I think of that, and actually has for a long time, way before you asked me this question, was the English actor Jason Statham. He's been in a lot of action movies, Fast and Furious and stuff like that, and he's not a friend of mine. We don't know each other at all, so I'm not plugging him for any type of role. He just seems like the type of guy he's the right age, he's the right physical type, he's the right presence, he just gives the right type of strength that I think he would carry a role like this really, really well. Yes, the current and future projects. Things have been different. I've moved from LA back to Chicago, where I've been living for a number of years now, and am working on a lot of different types of things outside the realm of acting. However, I am still doing auditions and work for voiceover projects for commercials and things like that. But I'm also pursuing something I had been doing before I was an actor, which is working as a musician. I've been a musical director for a number of different theaters and different things. If anybody is curious, I would love to have you check it out. It's just esmaron.com, Esmaron, and also have a SoundCloud page, and you can follow me on Twitter at Ed Smaron and learn about all of those future projects that are coming up, and hopefully there'll be a lot of them and a lot more of them, and maybe one day down the road there will be some more Resident Evil projects coming up, and we hope for that. And like I said, probably the first question you asked me was, any work is good work. So I'm happy to do it, and it's all been a really good time. I am really happy that you contacted me to do this interview as well. It's been really exciting over the past 6 to 9 months with all the buzz that's been created around the Resident Evil franchise and the new versions of things and just the intense interest that these fans have had for such a long time in all of these projects and all the people that have been involved with them. And it's just fascinating. And I'm so grateful to be a part of something like this, to actually have people who care so much about what's going on. I think this is terrific. And like I said, thank you for reaching out to me and just for being curious and wanting to know. And I'm more than happy to talk to people about this, and hopefully we get a chance to do it again. As far as a message to people, I think I just said it. I really appreciate your interest and your being there and being fans and caring and that you support this kind of work so well, because you don't really get that much of a chance to talk to people and to have people tell you how much they really like what you've done. Not very many actors get a chance to have that happen. Actually, I think it's very few of us who really get a chance to listen to people tell them that they're really happy with what you've done. And so keep up your interest. I'm glad you're enjoying everything. I hope you all have wonderful lives going on wherever you are, and that one day maybe I'll get to meet some of you or all of you, or at least we can chat on the website, or if there's any feedback on this particular podcast, perhaps there's more that we can talk about, and hopefully this can keep going for as long as possible. And once again, with you, Monique, and with everybody else out there, I'm just really happy to be a part of this, and I'm grateful for you all. Thank you very much.